going to have a little look at how we create our center zipper panel in fabric. I will do another video for info leather, but we're going to do fabric first. So you're going to need the two panels, that's H1 and H2. Off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what the measurements are for them. I think this is 10 3/8 by 2 1/4, and I think this is 1 3/8 by 2 1/4, but don't quote me because I could be wrong. And you'll need your strap pull. Now, whichever one you've chosen to use, and that's, I've got my fabric version, I have my triple folded version, and I have my raw edge version. I've top stitched all of them, so they're now, I can pick and choose. So we're going to take our longer panel and we're going to make a small mark with a ruler that I've left over here. On the right side, on one of the shorter ends, we're going to make a small mark 1/2 inch in from the side, just a tiny mark. I'm using a pencil, Frick's-on pen, whatever suits you, whatever's your poison for this. So it's difficult to see, but I've made two small marks, one there and one there. I'm going to take my strap, and I'm going to use my fabric strap because I can, and I'm going to bend it, but I'm going to bend it so that it's got no kinks in it. I don't want it to be bent so that it's like that. I need it to be bent, so take hold of both ends and just bend them in so that it sits properly. And I'm going to take that strap and I'm going to lay it on the inside of that mark, so within that sort of center gap between the two marks. So one side will touch one of those little marks and one side will touch the other. Okay, then take it to the machine, and I'm just going to stitch those two strap ends in place just to stop them from moving. If you feel that you don't need to do this, and you don't have to, but I find it's a lot easier if you do. So I'm just going to literally do a line of stitching, not even right the way across, but at about 1/8 of an inch because I don't want it to be visible. That secures my strap in place. Where are my slips? Let's get rid of me ends. And our strap is now secured to our longer zipper panel. Now I'm going to take my shorter panel and I'm going to lay it right sides together over the top, matching up the short ends. I'm just going to pop a clip on the sides. There we go. And I'm going to stitch those together, just level it up, using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You must make sure that you stick to the correct seam allowances for this, otherwise your central zipper panel will be a bit too short if you use a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, so you don't want that. Back stitching at the beginning and the end, so effectively you're now securing your strap between the two panels. Remove my clips. Remove my ends, open out that panel, and you can press it if you want to. I'm not going to because I actually haven't got the iron here. I'm just going to finger press it, and then you're going to top stitch on the shorter piece right the way across. My seam allowance is all facing towards the shorter piece. That just gives us a third line of stitching to make sure that those straps are absolutely secure. That little strap is absolutely secure. And there we go. she's all secured onto the top, and our strap is sitting there nicely. So you can see the strap sits quite flat to the panel. It doesn't need to be poking up or sticking out. I've just literally got that ½ an inch or just less than ½ an inch of interfacing in there, and that is enough to make it stiff enough for this. What we then need to do is take our pattern piece H. Is it H? Yeah, it is H. Lay it up against the top end, so the end where the strap is. You're just going to use it to cut out those two little rectangles from the end. Cut them accurately. What these are for are to guide you when you come to construction. They don't actually serve any purpose at all, really, other than to keep your seam allowance exactly where you want it to be. So now the end of your panel has those two little cutouts, the same as the pattern piece. And this is the pattern piece that we use for the faux leather. And when we cut the faux leather, we cut it in one rectangle, and we only cut those little tiny rectangles out from one end if we're doing faux leather. So that's my strap panel, that's my central zipper panel in fabric, and I'll come back to you and show you how we do the central zipper panel in faux leather.